Here are the 3 biggest mistakes I've made with tempera paint sticks and how to overcome those mistakes. The first mistake I made was believing that tempera paint sticks were for kids. Now, partly I believed this because tempera paint is typically associated with children because it's non-toxic and washable and really easy to use. I also believed these paint sticks were for kids because my son was the first one to have them when he was just 2 a few years ago. And then finally, every pack of tempera paint sticks that I have looked at has 4 kids splashed all over it. But if I could go back, I would tell myself, don't let someone at some marketing company stop you from making art with tempera paint sticks. They are not just for kids, they are for everyone. When I look back, and as I was preparing to share these mistakes with you, I started to wonder why I let this idea hold me back for so long. And I believe it comes down to a couple factors. One is that I'm mostly a self-taught artist. So, of course, I've taken art classes here and there, but I have no full degree in art or fine art or art history or anything like that. And then on top of that, I don't make anything specific. I'm not into landscapes or birds or drawing people, anything like that. I enjoy experimenting with colors and patterns and textures instead. So because I had these doubts about being a real artist, I didn't think I could also use art supplies that were made for kids. So if you are caught up in this mistake too, believing that tempera paint sticks are for kids, I want you to know that all the reasons that tempera paint sticks are great for kids is also why they are great for adults. They are washable, so if you get them on your skin, they come off with soap and water so easily, unlike more of an oil pastel, which I find stains. It always stains my skin. They also dry quickly, which means when I'm short on time, they're just a really easy art supply to turn to because I can make something in 5 to 10 minutes. Unlike paint, which has a longer drying time. And finally, tempera paint sticks are really easy to use. They come in a little tube like this, and they look almost like a glue stick. And so it is like working with a glue stick, but there's paint inside of it. So they're really smooth, and there's just so much you can do with them. Before I get into the next mistake, I wanted to take a moment to ask you to like this video and subscribe to this channel, because these are the best ways that you can see more videos like this one. All right, so the second mistake I made with tempera paint sticks was not having colors that I like. Because the first set of paint sticks in my house were for my son, they were just in classic bright colors. We had a set of 16, and picture the color spectrum. Roy G. Biv is what I had to work with. And once I started using the paint sticks, I didn't really care for the first few things I made because my color options were so limited. And yet, I found that I really liked working with these paint sticks. They were very easy to use. The material in them was so smooth. They dried fast, like I mentioned. They were just wonderful. So I started looking around online and found that you can find tempera paint sticks in almost any color. They not only come in the classic brights, but there are pastels, metallics, neons, earth tones, and jewel tones. Only you know how much you can or want to spend on art supplies. But I have to tell you that once I got a set of 30 paint sticks that touched on all the different types and a set of 20 pastel colors, my art became so much more fun. Right now, I have about 6 different sets of tempera paint sticks, and I've been thinking about doing a video on those different types that I have. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll get that prioritized in the next few weeks. And then I also have linked to a couple of the sets that I like the most in the description. Finally, the third mistake that I made with tempera paint sticks was not using them because I was afraid of wasting them. More specifically, I was worried about wasting them on bad art or ugly art. I know how easy it is to let perfectionism creep in like this. I'm aware of my perfectionistic tendencies, and still sometimes they trip me up. But here's what I've realized from pushing through this mistake. I had to make some bad art and some ugly art to make better art. Once I started working with these paint sticks and having this broader color palette, I was surprised by how many ideas came to me. I couldn't stop coming up with color combinations, designs I wanted to try. It was so much fun. I have also noticed that my skills have improved as I've used the paint sticks. And one area that I've learned a lot about with Tempera paint sticks is which papers to use. So I'm linking to a video on the best and worst papers to use with Tempera paint sticks here and in the description. I highly recommend that video if you want to save yourself some art supplies. Finally, if I could go back, I would tell myself that I don't have to share what I make. And just because I'm sharing a lot of what I make here doesn't mean that you have to. It also doesn't mean you need to keep it. You have full permission to throw away art that you don't like. I don't see this as being wasteful. I see it as not keeping a reminder of something I don't like. I don't know about you, but I'm glad that I stopped letting these things hold me back. If you are looking for some inspiration on how to use Tempera paint sticks, I have put together this playlist of tutorials that can serve as some inspiration. You can check that out by clicking the playlist linked here or in the description. Thanks so much for being here.